What's up, guys? Got another reloading video for you. This time a little different angle. I'm on camera this time. Usually it's POV. And if my dog doesn't knock over the tripod. Today we are loading 3-inch 28 gauge. And this is the first video that will be on YouTube reloading 3-inch 28 gauge. I've done a couple 2 3/4. I think just some regular shot shower loading and a 28 gauge TSS. But since the 28 gauge has grown in popularity and the 3 inches are becoming super popular for duck hunting, I'm gonna teach you guys what I do for the 3-inch. Hardest part is to get the holes. I got a bunch of new holes. You can buy boxes of 3-inch shells ready to go from Boss or Heavy Shot or Federal, and save them because they are worth their weight in gold. So we got Fiocchi 3-inch primed brand new holes, and we're running bismuth. This is copper coated bismuth. This is bismuth number 5. I think bismuth number 5 out of a 28 gauge for a 1 ounce load is a totally capable duck hunting load. It's got around 200 pellets in the load. Anything less, like 4s, it's got 157. You're starting to get you're not going to have too much density in that unless you're only shooting big ducks or geese over decoys. So I like the 5s because I usually see more ducks than anything, and usually smaller ducks than larger ducks. So I like the pattern density that has. I'm going to show you 2 different ways. There is not much load data when it comes to 3-inch 28 gauge. Actually, there's one bismuth out there, a couple lead, and then a couple steel. Currently, it is only roll crimping. And now I will be fold crimping these on my mech, and I will show you guys how to set up the press to load, to be able to fold crimp these 3-inch. So the data that's out there right now is using a TPS 28 gauge wad and bismuth, no buffer, a powder charge of some popular powder, and which, by the way, you can find the data for free online. Just look it up. I can't tell you the powder charge or the brand or anything, but it's free. It's out there. If you go to Ballistic Products, they have Load of the Week archives, and it's in there and it's free. So that's the only bismuth one that I know that is free. So they have the Fiocchi hole, the powder charge, and TPS wad with an ounce of bismuth roll crimped. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and charge these up with powder. Also, if you don't have a press, you could do it this way. It just takes too much time. Alright. Got my powder charge. TPS wad. Now, you cannot seat a TPS wad with the mech most of the time because the powder charges do not sit tall enough for the stem to seat it all the way down. So I just use a screwdriver or something, push it all the way down. So now we are ready to load our bismuth. So here is copper plated beautiful bismuth. I know that's too much. 1 ounce is 437 grains. 437.5. And you can drop this bismuth number 5 in the charge bar. It's just a little big, so you get a little bit of shot bridging. 438, that's fine. All right, there's 1 ounce. That comes up just a little bit above the wad, maybe 8 to 10 pellets above the wad, which is fine. Won't hurt your barrel because it's soft bismuth. This load does require an overshot card because you are roll crimping it. The stack height is pretty, I don't know, it's like 3/8, almost half an inch. That's a pretty low stack height, but since you're roll crimping it doesn't matter. Not enough data out there to put buffer in it, and this is actually quite a higher pressure load, so you really don't want to mess with this one at all and substitute much, unless you're substituting stuff that for sure lowers the pressure of the load. All right, today I'm going to be using the GAEP. This is the BN1. This is actually a finisher, so you crimp the whole, fold crimp, and use this to finish it. Works great. It's just regular roll crimping. I've got the BN1, BN3. This is the Precision quad pin roll crimper. I have BPIs, but the GAEP is just a great roll crimper. I'll throw in, let's see, those are the BM1. BM2 uses a little bit thicker of fold, like the outer edges when it's rolled down will be thicker. That's what it goes. BN1 is the thinnest, and then BN3, you know, I think it even goes up to 4. Maybe it stops at 3, but the higher the number, the thicker the roll. So I'm gonna put a little bit of oil down. Just touch the side of the hole with it, just so you don't melt the plastic. If you got like a box of these or something, you're going through it. Once this heats up, you're gonna have some killer roll crimps. But usually in the beginning, the first couple before it heats up is kind of subpar. But and then you will feel that stop, and you have a completed three-inch roll crimped hole. Alright, so here it is. This is the finished load following the load data Ballistic Products has exactly. In my opinion, it's a little too deep of a roll, and that's why it kind of bunched up down there. If I was to do it again, I have not, this is the first time roll crimping these. If I was to do it again, I'd probably add some flaxseed on top to bring up the height just a bit, to maybe cut that roll in half. But this is the data. This is what the data is to a T. This is how it's going to come out. You might get a cleaner roll crimp than this, but it's going to be a deep one, and that is 1 ounce of bismuth number 5. All right, so we are done with the roll crimp load. That's how it turned out. Not a fan. I mean, if that's all you got, more power to you. You can bang out quite a few of these, but I'm going to be taking a roll crimp load and fold crimping. Now, it also is not the smartest thing to do, because fold crimping will almost always increase the pressure of the load. So you have to do something to combat that. So I'm actually swapping out the TPS wad, which is one of these. TPS wad. It does not have any cushion or crush to it, with a wad that does have a cushion to reduce the pressure of the load. Now, it's never really a good idea to start substituting things from published data, especially if it's kind of upwards in the higher pressure range. I've sent quite a few off for testing, so I know generally what I can and can't do without making it dangerous. So if you want to change anything in a load, don't shoot it, go send it off for testing. This is what I have done to multiple loads. I have multiple loads written down that, you know, it's a deviation from load data, came back safe. So now it's part of, came back safe, came back as fast as I want. And so now it's part of my my own reloading data that no one else has, which is kind of a cool thing. So I'm taking the same load, same powder charge, different wad, and then the rest the same except fold crimping it. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to set up your mech to fold crimp these 3-inch. I know I saw on a couple groups, people are like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. All mechs are the same, or the Mech 600 Junior, they just have different attachments. So it's just this little bolt right here. You pop it out and lift it up. It's like 1/8 of an inch or something. Put the bolt back in and you're set up for 3-inch. Okay, we're back. Top hole to top hole. Now here's a tip for you guys. If you look, there's some wiggle room. It's not exactly as easy as top hole. You can put in the bolt and keep it loose and it'll wiggle a little bit. So if you don't want to keep adjusting your press every single time you change this, put in that bolt. Okay, put in that bolt and then loosen it up a bit so the whole press has some play room. It goes, see this? Side to side, up and down. And then push the top all the way down. See if you can see that bottom part. See how that moves? If you push it all the way down this way, it'll rest on that bolt and it will be repeatable every single time versus having to adjust it and be slightly off, which is you're not going to want. And then you just go ahead and tighten that down. And voila, 3-inch ready. All right, so we have a new primed 3-inch hole. There's a 2.75 as comparison. Primed, we got our powder charge. We're going to go ahead and charge the hole. Guys, I know you can see the grains of powder here. When I have my camera close to it, it messes this up. Don't use the load that you think that you see. See how it's changing? Go look at the load. It's free on Ballistics Products. Like I said, the load of the week archives. All right, powder charge in. Same thing. This is the HV28 wad. The press will not seat this all the way down. You need something with longer cushion, shallower shot cup. But honestly, wad pressure doesn't make a difference, really, ever. All right, that is tapped down in there. $400 and too much, like always. 437.5. That is close enough. All right, so this wad, it will actually hold less of the shot, and more will be above it, like that. So you really can't see the wad in there because there's maybe 15 or 20 above it. if you look at it carefully, you can see the shot that is not, you can't see the shot in the wad, but you can see it's a little bit of shot through right there. That's the amount that is not being held. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing, overshot card, because of how low the stack height is. And I will come over here to my mech. And so here's a tip for you guys. I was having a lot of problems with crimping 28 gauge. Now, the problem I found was the 6-point crimper does not take up enough space, does not take up enough plastic to crimp correctly. It would always have a hole in the middle, and they would just not, I could never get it done. I tried everything on the machine, and then someone, I read somewhere, told me they were having problems, and they switched to an 8-point crimper, and that fixed it. So I bought an 8-point Crown Super Crimper, and voila, the thing is beautiful crimps. Of course, you might need to adjust it a little bit when you readjust for 3-inch shells. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-crimp this. Now, I don't set my pre-crimps stage to cam over. I go all feel. So if I cam over, I'll crush the hole. I really don't know how to explain it, except I do different loads all the time. Bismuth, steel, TSS, 2 3/4, 3-inch, every different type of wad. It's all different. I don't want to adjust the press every single time. So I just go by feel, wad pressure, and I just look. And look at how perfect that little 8-point crimp looks. All right, now I'm gonna move it over to the next station. Drop it down. All right, so I'm gonna derail from this video real quick. So this was the finished fold crimp. Quite garbage. It dished down too much. Stack height was not high enough. So I'm gonna show you guys how to fix that. Not just with this load, but just any load in general that ends up being too dished or open like that. And so I went ahead and I made another one. This will be fold crimped again. And you can actually measure the depth of your stack just to see how deep it is. And after a while, you'll get a hang of it, of like, oh, that's too short, that's too high. You'll get an idea. I know a lot of the TSS loads out there have terrible stack height, and they're just tell you to throw an overshot card on it, and then it rattles like a mofo. But so what I do is I take flaxseed. Okay, flaxseed. Some people use Cheerios. You can do like a foam, like a meat tray, like a steak meat tray, and use that as an overshot card. That works as well. But I like flaxseed, and flaxseed will settle. So you want a little bit more than not. All right, so I got the flaxseed in there. Very small amount. If I was to weigh it, that's usually around like 3 grains. That'll be enough just to stop the dished crimp, which the overshot card did not fix in the first one that I did. So we're gonna go ahead and do this one right now. Now, new holes, you're gonna wanna hold this down a bit, usually 10 seconds. The more you hold it down, the more memory the plastic has, and it'll stay there. If not, it might open up and you might have some openings when you do your final crimp. There. Voila. So just like that, I removed the overshot card and put in a little bit of flax. Took up more space. I am totally happy with that. And you can tell the difference of the two. And now you have a completed 3-inch, 1 ounce, 28 gauge bismuth hole. So we finished up here. We got 3 holes made. One was a roll crimp. One was, we'll call it the trash crimp. And then one was the good fold crimp. Like I said, go to Ballistic Products, their archive, find the free load for the 3-inch 28 gauge bismuth and buy a little roll crimper or something, or use your mech or whatever, and start saving yourself some money. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe like always, and I will try to keep pumping more videos now that season is approaching.